Good afternoon, and welcome back to the next episode of Keeping It Together podcast. This podcast is about celebrating our resilience as Indigenous peoples and sharing those ways of being well with our community. My name is Lindsay Croshoe. I'm a family doctor and one of the co-hosts of this podcast series. My other usual partner in this podcast series, Bridget White, is not joining us today, so it's all me. And our special guest today is Wyatt C. Lewis. So I'd love to pass it over to you, Wyatt, to introduce yourself, and then let's chat.
Sure. Dante, thank you so much for having me. My name is Wyatt C. Lewis. I'm a Plains Cree singer-songwriter here in Mohkinstsis, and originally from parts of Treaty 6, from Montana First Nation, and also I went to high school in Wetaskiwin. I was very heavily influenced in the music program there. It took me to parts of the UK and Seattle, which was really cool. So just sort of fast forwarding to now, still doing music, still have that hard passion, connecting music and audience members, and using sort of my life story and people that inspire me, using that as a creative juice. I'd say I could probably put that as a tool. Yeah, I'm really happy to be on this podcast. Thank you so much for reaching out. Been really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Wyatt. It's really great to have you. It's not the first time that we've connected.
That's right.
We've actually had a few events together. I have a bit of a background in music and have been invited to musical events in our community for many years now. And for me, music is a really important aspect of being well. You can't see on my screen. I can see in Wyatt's screen a pretty cool looking guitar up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a bit of a connection. So it's quite a pleasure to be able to talk to you about music. I was wondering how we would get the idea of music into this podcast, and I was really happy that Megan, our coordinator, connected with you. So I was like, yeah, that's perfect. And we already have a relationship flowing. So I guess I have lots of questions around the nature of music and how it keeps you well, and how you as a musician and a songwriter, there's some interesting aspects of that I'd love to be able to hear from you, that might be really helpful for our listening. So and so we have a bit of an agenda today, and so I'm wondering if it's okay to talk about how did you get into this songwriting and music world? You mentioned early on in Wetaskiwin.
Yeah, the Wetaskiwin Complex High School. It was directed under Paul Sweet. That I think so much of just my aspirations and role model. Been such a role model in this industry too. Just kind of seeing it from all a few different angles, and just kind of continuing into post-secondary, going to Red Deer College for about 3 years as just a basic music diploma. But I think one of the earliest memories I have, obviously my dad and Tansei Adam, thank you for joining us. My dad taught me guitar. That's kind of, I think, how it started. My dad's still trucking on. He plays a Fender Strat, and just ampless, just in the living room. Such early memories of him playing Jimi Hendrix and Chuck Berry and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Really, my love for blues music came in from such an early age. But I also did a lot of different things besides that. I remember in like grade 4 being the only boy in the choir full of girls, but not really caring too much about that, just really wanting to sing in front of people, um, uh, different kinds of audiences, old folks' homes or school assemblies, and then I think I just kind of continued with choral music. I was really intrigued with how I can how my voice fits in such an ensemble, um, and the aspects of like blending and dynamically, I think really helped me. I owe that a lot, to how I perceive things today. If I'm part of a project or something with other people, definitely just having that awareness for all kinds of music and all types of voices and instruments. Um, yeah, I think I owe a lot to choral music. I did Alberta youth choir as well for a few years actually, um, before I went to college, and that was on just a bit of a bigger scale. I think more of a formal, um, uh, formal setting. I think really helped shape me, um, and maybe got me ready for more formal training in college. Um, and then just listening to what my dad and my mom and even my brother, a middle child, but even my younger sister, what they were listening to, and just a big amalgamation, a big mix of things. So sometimes when someone asks like what kind of music do you listen to or even play, it's a hard one. It seems like it changes and evolves over time. Um, and songwriting, I think, came a little bit later. I think I took some classes in Red Deer in college there, and some jazz theory, and I think that maybe sort of sparked something in me, to go out and sort of figure out what kind of the tools that I have, what kind of works for me. I think just kind of starting out doing some covers is such a great thing. Doing playing covers with your friends is a really great start. Just building that community and being a part of it. Um, I owe a lot to my friends as well for supporting that. Yeah.
Thanks, Wyatt. I owe a lot to my friends too. And there's
Yeah.
one down there that just joined, another partner in all of this, Adam Murray. Thanks for joining. Do you have anything to say?
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me. Sorry I was running late. I burnt a bunch of peppers right before I left. Smoked up the whole house like peppers. I had to take care of it before heading over to the office for the better camera. But Wyatt, man, it's good to see you again.
Really good to see you as well. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm sorry for missing that front end of your story. But I remember when we played at uh, the it was the AAWC, was it?
Festival Hall. Yeah.
Um, I remember I was getting my stuff moving, the drums, and that song "Dancing with Stu." It always like sticks out to me. And there was, I think, one time you were talking with Cosm, and uh, I didn't know that you had gone to get some schooling on music. And when he said, "Hey, this song is in C sharp," you kind of like looked at him, and I couldn't tell like if you were like giving him like a little nod, like, yeah, that I put that in C sharp, or if it caught you off guard.
Yeah.
C sharp, right? That's like every note is sharped.
Yeah.
It's like one of the harder scales to write in.
It shifts
You did it
your.
on purpose. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it could definitely throw people off, or even like A flat or something. But I like to spice it up a bit, make things interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam likes to spice it up. Adam
Yeah,
likes to spice it up.
good.
Right, that's right. I like to spice it up in my music, and I like to spice it up on the dinner table. You know what I mean?
That's great. Yeah, really good to see you again. I was looking back at those events, one at Festival Hall, and then Lindsay, we did one at Studio Bell at NMC, and just a beautiful time being surrounded by so many great artists, people that I look up to, and just get to see where they're at in life.
Hmm. That was notable. Having two gigs during the pandemic,
Hmm.
and I'd love to hear your thoughts on how that was for you, and how it was for you to in the wake of all of this, and the physical distancing that we're supposed to be doing, but those moments where we could. What was it like to you to be able to have a gig, and then for me those were meaningful gigs because we were like doing them for the Aboriginal awareness weeks and for community. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I would. First of all, just being so honored to be a part of that. Um, I feel like was hoping it could last longer. Just um, maybe a 2-day event or something like that. But it feels like we're just starting out, getting our footing again. But yeah, such a bizarre time trying to navigate the world and honoring people's respecting people's privacy and their distance as well, like their comfortability. Um, I feel like it's for many of I think personally for myself, I felt like I was at home and I was supposed to be exactly where um, exactly there. So I felt sort of a little bit of normalcy as well, but just also rekindling and reconnecting with these artists. Um, just also grateful to have that opportunity to stand on stage, and I know some of it was broadcasted, and so a lot more people eh, that weren't there in attendance were also watching from home and in their comfort of their home. So feel like there's ways to navigate sort of sticky situations, and we're able to still um, broadcast and find those sort of outlets to express our songs and our stories. Yeah, I felt really honored.
The we'll definitely stick some links in this podcast for some of those two broadcasts
Mm-hmm.
with the Aboriginal Awareness Community of Calgary, and if you're okay, we can stick in a link of a song or two of yours just so people get to know you.
Please, yeah, thank you.
That'd be awesome. So yeah, COVID was really separated us. I tried with the guys for a while to play by Zoom, but there's so much lag time between the between amongst us. It was very impossible to play.
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up just kind of like being by ourselves mostly. If we did a Zoom sort of jam, only one person could have his mic on, and the rest had to mute. So there was no back and forth.
Yeah,
Um,
that
in terms of
latency
that,
can be really tricky.
yeah.
Mastering that.
As a musician and a singer songwriter, how was COVID for you?
um,
What did you have to deal with, and what did you do?
there was some good things and some bad things. Obviously, I'm grateful for my health and the health of my family. They're doing really well for the most part, and I think the start of the pandemic was very bizarre. I was working a retail job, a tea job, and a lot of the stores actually got closed down, including my store, and was working there for quite some time actually, just um, moving up in the company and doing music on the side and having them support it. I was really lucky and grateful for that. But after things kind of shifted majorly and this kind of stores closing down, it really pushed me into doing music full time. Um, so it was sort of a light that kind of came out of it, that I'm really, really happy it did, because it sort of opened some more doors for me. And I kind of just, I guess, started, rented some really simple equipment just to record some demos on my own, and started the kind of pre-production of my first full-length record that I'm almost done, almost closed the chapter on. It's been worthwhile making, and been learning so much about the process of working with other people, and trusting my songs and my stories, and sort of giving them out to these really good friends of mine, and it's been paying off really well for me, just in terms of building knowledge from both. I'm working with a couple producers, so they sort of work differently and on different projects, but having them together in such a small room, we definitely navigating, bringing instruments, different players in such a small room. We had to be really careful, and respecting other people's comfortability. So I felt like there's some time that needed to pass before we were able to do that, to really dive in. And I think I spent some more time once travel was kind of opening up. I took that chance to make my way to Toronto, and parts of Ontario, did a couple shows there, and developed some more skills on the songs that I was making at the time, and just kind of get them ready for the studio, which for most of my life I've done live performance, and I feel really comfortable on stage, and studio recording is such a different thing for me, and something I'm definitely not used to. So I was, a lot of new things at the time.
Do you have to play to a click track?
Definitely, yeah. Having the practice, having spending just time to like really focus on following a click track is really goes a long way for just being efficient with everyone's time. I'm still working on that.
That's the thing about playing with Lindsay, because that lag he was describing on Zoom.
Yeah.
That happens even in person.
Oh yeah. Gotta be careful.
Yeah, I pretend to say something, and then I'll say it 3 seconds later, and it throws him off. And he doesn't know what to do. And all of a sudden, I see these drumsticks go flying, and he's like writhing on the floor.
That's great. That's so good. Yeah.
His guitar playing is always 3 beats ahead.
What's up with that?
I'm just thinking forward.
Yeah.
Like thinking to the next move.
Of course.
And as a gift.
A gift, yeah. No.
I never explored the option. I might just be off beat, but
having a good time though,
That's right.
First and foremost.
Maybe you're just enjoying those 3 beats before where we're at.
Yeah, let it breathe.
What I mean? It's like you're like really reflecting on those last few moments.
Yeah.
You're always in that zone, just behind the wave.
Yeah, I have a little bit of like decision-making apprehensiveness, so I have to like listen to it, think about it, and then deliver, so It's like when I go to fast food to get food, I always have to stand and stare at the menu for like a long time unless I get the same thing every time.
Yeah.
And what do you do?
I'll
get the same thing every time?
In terms of the drums, yeah, just play the same song.
That's what I felt. You're stuck in that wall.
It's not the beat for this song, huh?